Hey Siri, how many burpees do I need to do to burn off a donut?
According to the internet, you would need to do 218 burpees to burn off a donut.
Okay Siri, how many burpees do I need to do to burn off a Timbit?
In my expert opinion, it doesn't matter. You lack the upper body strength to do that many burpees anyways. Maybe you should be lifting dumbbells instead of donuts.
What's up? Hey, when I first got into fitness, I had a lot of misconceptions about how calories, activity, and what I did on the daily fit together. The way I saw it, if I ate calories, I had to burn calories. If I didn't burn calories, I'd store the calories. Graphics like these didn't exactly help me. So when activity trackers first came on the scene, I thought, great, these will tell me exactly how many calories I need. If I burn the calories, I can eat the calories. Easy peasy. A lot has changed since then. For one, I no longer track calories, and I finally feel like I'm at a place where I understand my body's needs. But for funsies, I figured we'd throw it back to when I was a newbie. So for today's video, I will be tracking all of my activity, only eating back what we burn. Because I want to eat, we are going to do a little extra activity, but I want to keep this grounded in reality. I'm not going to do like a triathlon today. So throughout today's video, I will be showing you what I eat, explaining activity tracker accuracy, as well as what actually affects your energy needs. Before I get into it, I want to say a huge thank you to LMNT for partnering with me on today's video. Today, we're going to be doing a lot of activity out in the heat, which means we're going to get sweaty. LMNT is a science-backed electrolyte blend that can help you feel hydrated with sugar, artificial sweeteners, or any of the ingredients you don't need. We'll talk more about this later in the video, but for now, what you need to know is that they're doing an insane offer for our community where you can sample all their flavors for free. All you gotta do is cover the shipping. So I'll put a link for that in the description box down below. Otherwise, on with the video. First activity of the day, we are kicking things off with some sunscreen and then we're heading out to go on a run. I figured we would do the most challenging but also most calorie burning activity first. So my goal is to burn 1,000 calories. I don't know exactly what that'll mean. That might be an hour running. That might be a half marathon. I don't know. We'll see. This run I'm trying to burn 1,000 calories, which begs the question, how many calories do I even need? First, understand that the calorie is a unit of energy. Metabolism is the process that converts that energy into a form that's usable by your body. The resulting energy balance is the primary determinant of long-term changes in body weight. If you need a refresher on energy balance or how your body burns energy, I recommend watching the Science of Metabolism video first. Getting into calorie calculation, there are a ton of calorie calculators online. Honestly, most of them are pretty good as long as you know how to use them. So most calculators will ask for your height, age, weight, and sex, as well as physical activity levels. The reason for this is that height, weight, age, and sex are directly correlated with your RMR, your resting metabolic rate, the calories you burn just sitting, breathing, and existing as a human being. In general, larger, younger, and more muscular people will have a higher RMR, whereas smaller, older, and less muscular people will have a lower RMR. To fully understand your energy needs, we need to understand the contribution of activity. So taking it back to that energy balance equation, we've already covered RMR, TEF, the thermic effect of food, has a relatively smaller contribution as compared to the other components, so it just kind of rolled into a lot of these calculations. Our focus is now on TEA, thermic effective activity, and NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So the calories burned through all activity you're doing, regardless of whether it's through a structured workout or it's just kind of lifestyle activity. The way that most online calculators will account for this is by applying something called an activity multiplier. Most calculators will have you select from a list of activity multipliers that are labeled based on the number and intensity of workouts you do per week, as well as how active your job or life is on the daily. And while there are definitely limitations to the accuracy of this, there are going to be limitations to any equation you use. Your metabolism is a moving target. It changes on the daily. Regardless of accuracy though, where this equation has helped me, especially the whole idea of RMR times activity multiplier, is that it's allowed me to break the belief of because I eat X number of calories, I need to burn X number of calories. Your body burns calories just sitting, breathing, and existing. So instead of thinking of calories as a plus minus on what you eat versus what you burn, zoom out and focus on that activity multiplier. Focus on opportunities for activity throughout the day. You don't need to go out and do 1,000 calorie run. Like when you stop looking at calories as checks and balances and instead focus on lifestyle habits, I feel like it helps shift the mindset to instead of looking at every activity as just an additional number of calories you can burn, it allows you to step into seeing activity as a multiplier on what your metabolism is already doing. Just got back from our run and actually kind of surprised. I honestly thought I'd have to run 10 miles at least in order to burn 1,000 calories. But right around the 8-mile mark, I saw that my move goal was coming up on, my move thing was coming up on 1,000 calories. So we stopped at 8 miles. add in whatever I burned during the jump rope warm up, and I walked the distance after I finished the run back home. We're now sitting at just over 1,100 calories burned. I'm gonna go shower right now. I don't know if you can see those white stains on my hat, but that is literal minerals leaving my body. That is like the salt in my sweat coming out through my scalp and into my hat, and I'm starting to get the sweat chills. So I'm gonna go shower, and then we're gonna make something to eat. We're having a little bit of fun. I blended up some mango jalapeno and chili margaritas. There's no alcohol in here. I am seriously dehydrated, and alcohol acts directly against your recovery and your rehydration efforts. But we do have some electrolyte in here. Today I'm using LMNT Mango Chili blend. If you like sweet and spicy, sweet with a little bit of heat, you like that little burn in your throat without the buzz, this is the blend for you. It is so good, Jeff. You were having a little bit of trouble with this. I think it's just delicious. So I'll put the full recipe down below. What you need to know is that per hour of sweaty activity, you can lose 1 to 3 liters of sweat, 460 to 1,840 milligrams per liter of which is sodium. So if you're a sweaty lady like me, salt is not the enemy. Hydration is not just drinking a bunch of water or setting like a drink a gallon of water goal per day. It's about achieving the right balance between fluids and minerals in your body. When you are properly hydrated, you will be able to focus better, endure longer, and ultimately perform better in every area of your life. Each serving of LMNT contains a science-backed blend of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, without the sugar, artificial sweeteners, or any of the ingredients you don't need. If you want to try some LMNT for yourself, they're doing an insane offer for our community where they're going to send you samples of all their flavors for free. All you got to do is cover the shipping. So if that sounds good to you, I'll put a link in the description box down below. Otherwise, on with the video.
Workout time. Today we've got a HIIT workout on the agenda. I got some new exercises. They're super fun. I actually can't wait to do this workout. I will be recording this for both my Instas, Abby, and the team plans. I'll link them on screen if you're not following. But something I've been doing lately is recording 2 versions of each HIIT workout, a high impact and a low impact version. Now, in recording these, I realized even though HIIT has been on the scene for a few years, like it's had that hype, there's still so much misinformation and misinterpretation of the facts, because every time I post a low impact HIIT workout, it's like, if there's no jumping, it's not a real HIIT workout. This is not true. HIIT stands for high intensity interval training, not high impact interval training. Impact does not equal intensity. By definition, impact describes the action of one object forcibly coming into contact with another. So if you jump up, then forcibly come into contact with the ground via gravity, that would be impact. Sure, you could make the argument that 1 rep of a jump squat is more challenging than 1 rep of a regular squat without a jump. However, HIIT is not done on a rep by rep basis. HIIT is done for time, and the idea is that you're supposed to do as many reps of an exercise as you can during each interval. So assuming you select your exercises correctly and you are pushing yourself to your max intensity, that is all that matters. For today's workout and video, I'm using an Apple Watch. If you're not familiar, the Apple Watch has 3 rings that represent 3 daily goals: stand, exercise, and move. Idea being, you try to close your rings each day. When I first got my Apple Watch, I didn't fully understand the difference between the exercise goal and move goal. I mean, I got that the exercise goal is measured in minutes, it's preset to 30 minutes of exercise per day, while the move goal is measured in calories and can be adjusted based on your personal preference. What confused me was that not all activity counted toward exercise and not all calories counted toward the move goal. So I did some digging, and my understanding is that the exercise goal measures any activity at an intensity above a brisk walk. It determines this by comparing your active heart rate against your resting heart rate. When there is a large enough difference, regardless of whether you're tracking your workout or not, those minutes will count towards your exercise goal. This explains why, even if you start tracking a workout on your watch, if you don't maintain a heart rate above that certain threshold, not every minute of that workout may count toward your exercise goal. So examples of activities that may slip through the cracks would be things like hiking, walking, Pilates, which even though it can be very challenging, it doesn't always result in an elevated heart rate. As for your move goal, this measures your active calories, aka the calories you burn when you are moving. So something you may have noticed if you have an Apple Watch and you look at that workout summary screen once you complete your workout, is that it's going to show you active calories as well as total calories. Active calories will be added to your move goal, whereas total calories are just
kind of there for reference, for fun. To explain how this works, consider a HIIT workout like what we're doing today. We're going between intervals of high intensity, working really, really hard, and then full recovery, like sitting on my bum, waiting for the next interval. So your active calories burned would represent any calories that are burned while you are moving during those high intensity intervals, whereas your total calories burned would include all those active calories plus any calories your body is burning recovering between intervals. Where this gets a little confusing is that while the calories burned during your high intensity intervals will be counted towards your move goal, the calories burned recovering between intervals will in general not be added to your move goal. However, if your heart rate stays above a certain threshold during your recovery period, the time spent in that recovery period may count toward the total time for your exercise goal. It's all a bit confusing. The more I read about it, the more confusing it got. But I'd say one of the big limitations of how the Apple Watch tracks calories, as much as they include the active calories and the total calories, that total calorie number is not actually going to be an accurate representation for an activity like weightlifting or like HIIT, where you continue to burn calories following the workout as a result of the afterburn effect that results in an increase in your resting metabolic rate during the recovery period. To add another layer of complexity, different activity trackers measure and display calorie burn info in different ways. Not to mention, a 2017 review found that many popular activity trackers, including the Apple Watch, are not actually that accurate. Accuracy aside, I love my activity tracker. I use it for accountability and to gauge relative intensity during my workouts. Of course, it's fun to close all my rings every day. I like having that little goal throughout the day, but I understand the limitations of this. If I've had a really tough weightlifting workout or a really hard HIIT workout, I know that not all of those calories burned may necessarily be reflected in my move goal, so I don't stress over it. I don't have to close my rings every day. It's fine.
All right, I just stopped my watch. Today's HIIT workout came in just under an hour. It's designed to be a half-hour HIIT workout, but because we had to get those angles, we had to get that content for Instagram, it took a little bit longer. So right now I'm sitting at 433 active calories, 515 total calories burned from this workout. It is just after 5 p.m. I'm sitting down for my first proper meal of the day. So far today, we have burned just around 1,800 calories, and I have eaten, I guess, the one donut this morning, the mixed drink around midday today, and now we're finally having these pancakes. So needless to say, I am quite hungry, but like, to be honest, I feel like I'm almost beyond the point of hungry. I went through hunger, I went through hanger. Now I just want to be left alone, and I'm too tired to be bothered to figure out what to eat, but I am going to eat something. Thank goodness we have these pancakes. I don't know if I'm gonna get much more activity today. I'd like to try for the sake of this video, but I'm also really tired. So I'm gonna eat this meal. I'm then gonna sit my bum on the couch, which is gonna feel fantastic, and I'm gonna let my food digest, then we will reassess closer to dinner. Guys, I did my best, but I gotta tap out of this meal. I 1.5 my usual pancake recipe, so it was a lot of pancakes, and I felt like I was very hungry going into this meal, but we've got one pancake left and a few apples. We almost made it. I am hungry, but I'm overwhelmingly sleepy. I feel like I need a nap right now. I don't have time for a nap, but I would love to have a nap. We're currently walking to the bakery and to grab groceries because one of the biggest changes I made when I finally started losing weight on my weight loss journey was looking for opportunities for activity outside of my structured workouts, aka increasing needs. So little things like walking to the bakery, intentionally forgetting to get a drink at the grocery store, so going to the convenience store to grab one instead, going out to the park to play catch instead of watching Netflix at night, little activities like that that made it easier to burn calories without thinking about calories. So right now we're walking to the bakery and to get groceries to get something to eat later tonight.
dinner time with my sweet, sweet sourdough. The bakery we went to today had an amazing hollow loaf last week, and I made Jeff the exact sandwich we're making today on this hollow loaf, and I only had a bite because I wasn't hungry, which now I'm living in regret because they said they didn't have hollow loaf and they're only restocking on Tuesday, which today isn't Tuesday. So anyways, we're still gonna make the sandwiches that I had planned. I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of a breakdown at the bakery. I've been looking forward to these all day, but we're gonna do our best. We are making avocado turkey bacon clubs. I think that's what it is, Jeff. Inspired by, we had this summer, excuse me. We had this summer where I'm pretty sure Jeff had avocado turkey bacon clubs at like every restaurant throughout the States. It was a real thing, it was a real season of life. So we're gonna revisit that season tonight with our sandwiches. That is it for today's video. As I said at the start, this is not a normal amount of activity for me. I did more activity so I could eat a sensible amount of calories. At the start of my fitness journey, this was basically me, except I was in school and busy, so I didn't have time for all this activity, so I basically just didn't eat, which not only is that not healthy, but it makes no sense scientifically. Something that surprised me about today's video is that I wasn't actually that hungry. I was so busy going from activity to activity that more than feeling hungry, I'd say I just felt fatigued, which kind of reminded me of when I first started upping my run mileage. I went from doing maybe 2 to 3 mile runs to 5 to 6 mile runs on average. And at the time, I really struggled with my pre and post run nutrition because it felt like everything I ate gave me an upset stomach. So not only was I burning a ton of calories during the run itself, but there would be like this 5 or 6 hour window around the run where I just wouldn't eat because I didn't feel hungry. Flash forward to the next day and I would be starving, which highlights an important point. Calories don't exist on a 24-hour clock. As much as apps like MyFitnessPal might reset at midnight, your body is always using energy, and it's using even more energy when recovering from high intensity activity. This is why I try to emphasize zooming out, and instead of focusing so much on the daily checks and balances of calories, focus on lifestyle activity. It's not about what you do on one day like a one-off. If you do a crazy 1,000-calorie burn run, it's about what you can do consistently as part of your routine. Before we end today's video, there has been something that's been on my mind with my past few videos, the content I've been putting out lately, and I just want to talk about it. So there have been many parts of my fitness journey. I've been at this for a long time. There's a lot of experience to draw from, a lot of science I've learned along the way. But the overarching theme of what we've been talking about lately has been weight loss, calories, diet stuff. And it's kind of like, if I were the one watching this, I'd be wondering why me, a person who's already lost the weight, has maintained the weight loss, has stopped counting calories, has figured out and kind of been able to shift a lot of these beliefs and let go of a lot of these myths. Why are we still talking about these things? Because if I don't, who will? If you don't like diet culture, if you don't like the direction it's sending people, by avoiding talking about it, you are empowering it. You are giving power to those exact voices that you yourself want to stop listening to, and you hope and pray that other people don't listen to. It's not enough to say diet culture bad to the people who are still in it. At best, that's a weak argument. At worst, you're invalidating the way that these people feel. I am by no means a fan of diet culture, but one of my frustrations with anti-diet culture is that people who already feel like they can't keep up with diet culture may then feel as though anti-diet culture doesn't want them either. And so they end up in limbo, not really being sure where to go. This is definitely how I felt when I first started my more successful round of my weight loss journey. People told me I was vain. People told me I'd changed. People told me all sorts of things. Everybody's journey is unique. Weight loss is not always good. It's not always bad, but context matters. How you grew up, how your parents, friends, and other adults spoke about your body, the behaviors you saw modeled by the adults in your life, what challenges you faced along the way, if you experienced sudden weight loss or gain, if you have medical issues, the list goes on. Context really matters here, and I feel like at both ends of the extreme in terms of of the community or going conversation, context is ignored. That is not the kind of community I want to create. That is not the type of conversation I want to have. Part of being smart means understand there's context and there's nuance. Everybody's journey is unique, and one of the most beautiful parts of fitness is that you can do it 100% on your own terms. It doesn't matter if you screw up, as long as you keep showing up. Being smart isn't about what you know, but how you grow. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard, respecting yourself enough to know that you are capable of achieving that higher standard in life. That's my little rant for the day. I hope it helps give you some clarity, because I don't ever want you to feel like, I'm pushing that you have to track calories or you have to do some insane amount of activity. I'm trying to show you the mistakes I made in a way that I know is conducive to the YouTube algorithm, how people enjoy being entertained on here. Maybe, I'm not really sure. I may be talking out of my butt at this point, but I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.